I'm often asked about couples friendships. We have the proverbial hunger to have a BFF and then be married to somebody who also has a BFF, and then all four of us are BFFs. And so rarely happens. As most of us know, it's even hard to just find one person that we can develop that kind of a relationship with. But wanted to talk about a few kind of guidelines of what I would say when you're looking for couples friendships or building a friendship with other couples. I would start with the very first premise that you don't all four have to be BFFs for it to still be a meaningful friendship. And furthermore, you may not even know that at the very beginning. Remember, a friendship isn't something we just find. It's not like we just go, you're talking about chemistry there. Some of us think those are the same thing. Some of us think that we just need to all four go out and meet each other. And if we like each other, our spouses will like each other. And if they don't like each other, too bad. And we feel like it should have this instant chemistry and that we had a great time and they connected. And not only did they connect, but your spouse isn't annoyed by your friend and vice versa. And there's so many relationships just there with four people that the chance of all four people liking each other, having no annoyances or grievances, and all being close in any format of all four of you, two of you, or three of you together is probably not a healthy expectation. So I would encourage right off the bat to just say, we're looking for other couples to build out our life, to help provide some of that social support. So if that couple is a fun couple or family for us to do stuff with each other as families or as barbecues, yay! The two guys or the two spouses or the two women, any combo of people there, don't have to be confidants in order for that to still be a meaningful experience. We don't have to have us all be confidants and sharing and connecting in deep ways for us to enjoy traveling with that other couple or meeting them at the baseball game or the opera or the golf course or for a hike or whatever the thing is that you enjoy doing with other couples in those scenarios. So I guess I would just encourage off the bat to shift your expectations from saying it's okay if our husbands were college roommates and they're best friends and me and his wife don't totally click, but we click enough to get together and do dinner together. We can hang out, and that's okay. So just acknowledge the value of being able to socialize as a couple and have other couples in your community, other families perhaps in your tribe, the people that you can go do stuff with, and that's okay. It's okay if only two of you in that foursome are best friends, or none of you. Okay, so right off the bat, we're looking for something that we need to be really careful we don't create as a needle in the haystack, some impossible myth, some heroic legend that we're trying to reach, and that it's BFF or bust, and we just have to keep looking. Because remember, friendship isn't something we look for, it's something we develop. And the more we do things with other people repeatedly, the more opportunities we have to get to know them, to enjoy them, and so let's just let ourselves do that. All right, guideline number 2, we show up in our spouses' relationships and their friendships. We would do this for I have the same rules when it comes to our kids. Anybody we love, we are committed to showing up and supporting and being in those relationships. It doesn't have to be all the time, and I'll talk about that in a second, but it doesn't matter if you don't like his friend's wife. It doesn't matter. You don't get to say that. You say that if these two guys are friends, if our spouses are friends, then we will show up and do dinner. We will show up and do what we can to help support that friendship. Or vice versa. Our husbands, our spouses, our significant others, whoever they are, they don't get to say, oh, she drives me crazy and I don't want to go hang out with you guys. No. She's my best friend and she's a really important person in my life, and you're my spouse and you're a really important person in my life, and I want the two people who know me best to know each other. And so we don't have to do everything together, but no, absolutely, I want her to know you and know why I fell in love with you, and I want you to know her, and if something happens to me, I want you to have a relationship. I want you to be able to know who to reach out to, or if I have a birthday party or whatever, we're doing life together, and the people who we do life together with need to know each other. And so we support the friendships of the people we love. I hear this often, when it comes to kids, I can't stand my kid's friend's mother. And I'm that's okay. You don't have to be best friends with her. You don't have to love her. You don't have to go do stuff on your own with her. But you show up and you build a friendship to the point at which a friendship, being friendly with each other, is appropriate in order to support your kids' friendships. And it's similar in this situation as well. So we do show up and we do make time and we do go to events and gatherings with our significant others' friendships and their families in whatever form that looks like. And the third point, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, is that we don't have to do that all the time. So we do need to say, hey, that's your best friend, so you need to go make time to go be with that best friend. A couple years ago, I realized that one of my husband's best friends, they almost only saw each other when the four of us got together. When he and his friend and the partners all got together. And I started feeling a little bit of like pressure, like I need to be showing up in this foursome more often so that they can see each other. And it was good for me to remember, no, I don't. Not at all. These guys they want to be best friends. They're building that friendship. Go forth and build your friendship and go do that most of the time by yourself. That's your friendship. You don't need your spouse's scheduling it for you. You don't need your spouse's sitting at the same table in order to help foster that time and space for you. Go spend time together. We don't need the spouses there all the time. This isn't some picture that the four of us need to be best friends. I have my friends, he has his friends. We do stuff together. We know each other's friends. We have some people that we interact with as a foursomes more often, but we both have our friends. And so I would just encourage that. I mean, there's no rule here, but I mean, I would say like just kind of like 70% of the time, do stuff with your friend and invite your spouses and other people into that occasionally, you know, if 30% of the time, 20% of the time. I don't care about the number, but the concept is that there's two separate things happening here. One is you two are best friends, make that happen. We're best friends, we'll make that happen. And we also show up in each other's friendships and we want to know the people that our spouse loves. We want to know the people that our friends love. And so we show up in each other's lives in those ways. I hope that was helpful. I hope I'm not getting anyone in trouble because now somebody's nudging the person saying, see, it doesn't matter if you don't like her, you still have to come hang out with us. But it's true. It's true. And if somebody we know loves both people, then there's something there to love. So let's trust our spouses and our friends and step into these relationships and find the things to love about the people. And when we let go of the need for it to be like best friends or that we just have to click or that we have to have all these things in common, like, hey, any one of us can show up and be nice and friendly to somebody else that somebody we know loves. Remember, there's a difference between being friendly and developing a friendship. And what we need here are people who are being able to be friendly in order to help support some other friendships, even if they're not ultimately yours. Hope that was helpful. It always gets a little trickier when we're trying to combine friendships and make bigger groups, but hopefully that helps set some of those expectations in ways that will allow you to introduce the people you love to each other and be a part of each other's relationships.